Good evening, sports fans. My name is Brightops, and welcome back to Blood Bowl 2, the Temple Guards series. Now, if you recall last time, we proceeded to smash the absolute hell out of some Skaven, but it seems like they haven't learned their lesson yet. Because in true Skaven fashion, there's always more of the little buggers. So let's teach them that lesson again, shall we?
Here we go! Fun, and hopefully death.
See, we don't have any petty cash. And they've hired some heroes to try and turn the tide for them.
Are you ready to play?
Alright, let's see what...
Good evening from Cabal Vision HD.
We should see some blinding pace today, Jim.
Gutter runners have the advantage on this pitch. Outnumbered by the opposition skinks. The throwers will need to wear some shades. It's really sunny out here. I hope you're ready for some violence and action. We should get some today, with one team having an edge over their opponents. On parchment, anyway.
Alright. They've hired a fanatic. And a heroic gutter runner.
The Skaven are formidable creatures. They're fast and sneaky. An opposing team will need to be as fast as they are, or far more violent. They can't take a punch, so start punching them now.
Here's the thing about the fanatic. I'll admit that there is some legitimate reasons to be afraid of the fanatic, and for good reason. But the thing about the fanatic is, if you can manage to take him down, just knock him down, they will not get back up.
Saurus, they hit hard.
That player's deceased, departed, expired, terminated, no longer of this world. Dead, dead, dead!
And we've got a kill right off the bat. And it was a blitzer too, that just makes this even better. Alright, we've been here before, let's... Well, we can try, we tried. I'd rather not try and have as few people in the dying range as possible. Ah yes, and as I'm sure some of you have remembered from last time, Sinister 7 the Mad gained a point in strength, which has actually managed to fill her in on a very unique role for the skink for this particular match, in the fact that she's become our dedicated gutter runner hunter. Since the ability to...
The player needs to secure it fast.
Since the Ratmen, the gutter runners can move faster and have a bit more agility than the skinks.
Come on, guys.
But right
Team
now...
spirit is the key. Well, except for me, obviously.
Well, there goes the fanatic. So he is no longer a threat to us. Fantastic. Because yes, it is the kind of the counterbalance of the Venetic, that in the event that they go down, they will be taken out of the... They will be knocked out or
Coming to help
injured.
his buddy. That's gonna hurt.
But yes, with the chain-wielding bloody goblin dealt with, we can now do what we can now free up the Thesauruses to go and say hello to the rest of their team.
And he's standing there drooling.
At least we would be if they weren't, if Grey Vested hadn't had a dull moment. Ah, yes. I will admit there is a lot of racial history of hatred between the Lizardmen and the Skaven. Just like there's racial...
Get next to the ball carrier so you can block.
They get along as well as Skaven and Dwarves,
Sorry,
and Skaven and humans,
if the player is pushed here,
and
it will
Skaven and
finish
other
in the
Skaven.
public. And in general,
Damn Skaven ruining Skaven blight.
What's the point? They want to fight 1 against 11?
Let's see, we'll whack you, free some space. Preferably without a turnover.
Oh, wait! Something's
And I do believe Cyclone is our first Saurus to level up. Nice.
Casualty so early in the match? Hey, I might actually start paying attention.
And Sinister goes to take...
That's right.
Gotta run it. Okay, can we... Yes, we can smack a bugger. Goodbye, righty. But yes, in the particular case of why the Lizardmen and the Skaven do not get along well, it has everything to do with clan pestilence. Now, to explain the history here a little bit, at one stage, Skaven blight was pretty much where the Skaven had holed up. There was only really Skaven blight. Until that is one of the earliest clans, Clan not Eshin. Eshin came later, but
Oh, this player forgot his hands in the changing rooms.
at the moment I can't really remember what the name of the Skaven clan in particular was, but they specialize in machinery and creating various machines, and honestly one of the reasons why the Skaven are one of the most
And it
technologically advanced races in the Warhammer world. However, they had a little bit of an oopsie with one of their things, which almost destroyed Skaven Blight and everyone in it. So they came up with the idea of... effectively, in order to prevent another whoopsie from accidentally killing their entire race, they came up with the idea of sending their various clans out. Or the various groups of Skaven would move out into the world to try and find new places to establish homes. Learn various skills, that sort of thing. And
They're gathering around that
the clan that would become known as Clan Pestilence made the journey across the sea in order to arrive in Lustria, which is the super jungle homeland of the Lizardmen.
He's on him now.
Now, initially, the Skaven did not handle Lustria well, because Lustria, as you can imagine, is a super jungle that is full of all kinds of interesting animals and diseases and poisonous plants. So,
I don't rate that player's chances of still standing at the start of the next turn. If they are, then we may see a touchdown.
actually, you know what?
Getting at the touchdown.
Might as well have gone for the
No, Jim. Didn't
push.
get the touchdown.
And we still have our dwarven cheerleaders. But after a time, and after the revelation of Clan Pestilence, that's about the true nature of their god, the Great Horned Rats,
A fresh start.
which
You can return to the
just so happened to
They've kicked the
make
ball to the
make
opponent.
them familiar
Now it's
with
time to think defensively.
a certain
I don't understand why
rot-loving
secret
god.
weapons- All the pleasure they bring to the spectators. In fact, they should be compulsory.
But yes, which would later cause a civil war amongst all of Skaven kind. That would last centuries. But actually, several civil wars among Skaven kind that would last centuries due to the nature of Clan Pestilence. But initially, after they awakened to the will of their god and actually started to adapt to Lustria, they developed. Once the native fauna and flora stopped slaughtering them en masse, they were able to adapt and
More pain for that team. Their pain is our gain.
Okay, let's see if we can. Yep, we're taking that's loss of movement allowance. It sucks. It honestly sucks that he's taken that, so he's a bit slower. But it's better than him losing a point in strength. Because Sirius now might be slow, but at least he can still hit things as hard as he used to. But yes, once the Skaven started to actually adapt to Lustria, they started to, as you can imagine, they started to swarm. They were able to gather in numbers that they were literally able to overwhelm the local population in lots of places. And that includes the Lizardmen. Quite a number of their temple cities were destroyed due to the Skaven tide. Because while the individual Skaven might be poor,
Knee hit.
Yep, I reckon that's what he'd say if he could talk.
while individual Skaven might be weak, Skaven in a tide tend to be fairly difficult to stop. They literally are fans of winning their wars by attrition. Now, after quite a large war between the Skaven and the Lizardmen, they started the Lizardmen, by being led by one of their skink priests, uncovered a ritual that would allow them to start spawning a better class of warrior skink, known as the chameleon skinks. And due to the development of this new weapon in their arsenal, the Lizardmen were able to basically stop themselves from being driven to extinction by the Skaven and actually drove them back. But let's just say that there's been some long, deeply suited grudges since then. Though, to be fair, the fact that the Lizardmen didn't like the Skaven to begin with, because the Lizardmen, they were created by gods known as the Old Ones, who were very much an anti-chaos nature. They tried to develop races and various systems to try and keep chaos from overwhelming the Warhammer world to begin with. Granted, these safeguards failed because
Problem, Bob?
Plague fly in my coffee.
But since they failed to stop chaos from developing in the first place. But the Lizardmen were initially designed to be effectively the servants of the Old Ones, the ones who would try and get various things done. And even after thousands upon thousands of years of not hearing anything from their masters, they still try and stick with their plan, with trying to shape the world in the way that they originally designed. The thing is that, well, because the Lizardmen, their leaders are called the Slan. They are effectively super old, super powerful toad magi that can do absolutely amazing things as far as magic's concerned. They can literally reshape the world. But they are, at the moment, most of them are currently basically trying to divine how the world itself should be shaped. That seems to be the first step. They're taking thousands upon thousands of years to work out, okay, this mountain needs to be here, this river should be here. I think this pond over here should be about 3 centimeters to the right. Basically very meticulous. Though there are Slan who have taken the viewpoint that, okay, rather than worrying about the actual layout of the world, what they should be doing is moving on to the next step, which is the various races that inhabit it. Because not all races are... Because as far as they're concerned, not all races belong in the world. And one of the races that shouldn't exist, as far as the Slan were concerned, with very little in the way of having to debate it, is the Skaven. Another one that they aren't big fans of are the Beastmen. because they are also, like, created of chaos. However, where this whole figuring out who deserves to live in this world and who doesn't question comes into play is the question is raised, what is an exceptional variation?
And fall on you. It can really hurt.
Yucks! They're going to be carrying that scar around for the rest of their short.
God damn, another... Well, okay, at the very least it was Cyclone, who's not really meant... I mean, the fact that he can move fairly quickly, move 6 places is nice, but that's not really why we have him. He's there to fight.
Whoa, that Skaven moves like a brown streak.
Well, that's one way to describe it.
Alright. Well, he didn't get to run away. Nice. But right now our current goal is to stop the Skaven from scoring this half. It might not sound like a major goal, but well, we'll do what we can.
More than 20 swords came up from his land for peck.
When the match was over, the oath was a wreck.
Okay. Move you up to try and pin these buggers down a little bit.
All this focus on the ball is against the spirit of the game. Give me more random violence.
Well, if nothing else, at least Sinister is doing their job of being of hunting down the gutter runners. Though the fact that we've lost at least 2 people is not great.
Next, we should hire a tame player.
The fact that we also lost our Croxigor and they've still got their Rat Ogre is not great. Which is annoying because we had a higher armor value than the Rat Ogre. But apparently no, it got lucky. It says a lot about the situation where we've been forcing the computer to seriously have to stop and think about what it's gonna do next.
Those vermin are fast, Jim.
Yep. And of course they don't want to risk passing the ball because the weather would make that rather difficult.
At that speed, it will be difficult to catch.
The tail, Jim. All you need is the tail.
Thankfully, this is the last turn of the half, so they weren't in a position to score anyway. Nice. So we're ahead, though we've lost 2 of our bigger hitters are down.
Easy to replace.
Despite being in the lead, this team now has to kick the ball to the losing squad.
They'll want to get it back as soon as they can.
Got it right, both teams lose a turn. This is actually the first match that we've had with the Temple Guards where the fans haven't stormed the pitch in a riot. Well, in a pitch invasion. Clearly they have actually rioted.
Too fast. Look at them.
I do like I love the fact that we apparently have the Lizardmen fans are just psychotically angry and take it out on everyone they can. Gives them personality, you know? And as annoying as it...
Don't trip up like that. Bad for your head, bad for your pride.
Well, we made them eat a reroll, so... As far as I'm concerned, we've made some progress.
And when the match was over, the elf people surrendered.
And Sinister 7 goes in to see if we can take out this rat ogre.
A blow made off desperation, no doubt. This time it worked.
Hey, a stun's a stun.
Now that's a real mess.
Let's see if we can kill some of their gutter runners. The sneaky little buggers have had it too good for too long.
Well, at least they're not dead. Yeah.
And their star player has taken an injury. Now that is interesting. Let's see. You know what? Worth a shot. Let's see if we can actually injure this rat ogre.
It's starting to look a little uneven.
It's great, Jim. I smell obliteration. This is gonna get bloody.
Well, it's off the field, so... and knocked out. Potentially it can stay off the field. Which will be good. At least it's not going to be threatening our people anytime soon. Let's just have a look up on the field. Alright. Well, at least we're going to get some level ups. A few level ups this time around, which will be fantastic. Preferably, we can get some more before this is over. Though I am kind of curious as to why it's taking the computer so long to come up with plays. Gonna have to see if I can do something to speed my computer up. Maybe delete some files that I don't use or something. Oh well. Ah, there we go. It's worked out what it needs to work out. Ah yes, something of an announcement for plans for the future. I have recently been invited to join a YouTuber Blood Bowl tournament that will be coming up in sometime in the near future once we get enough people together and can get it organized. At the moment, we've gotten from the sounds of it, the person organizing it has gotten 6 people to agree. Now, though we are trying for 8. So, maybe in time we'll be seeing a 3rd Blood Bowl series, but more dedicated to an actual multiplayer tournament. From what I understand, how it's been explained to me, the way that it's going to work is much like a normal season in one of our normal series, in that there will be it will start off with a round robin tournament, and then it will move on to an elimination tournament, which will be considered the finals. As for how teams will be selected, the idea will be that everyone will get a chance to... all the players will roll a dice. And the people who roll the highest will get to pick their team first.
Well, actually, you could do a lot of harm. That's kind of the point.
With our various... One of the rules of the tournaments will be that you can only have one of each team. So there will be 8 unique teams going into this tournament. And honestly, since we don't know what those teams are going to be just yet, or who will be selecting first, I simply can't say what team I will be playing during this tournament. But we'll see what we can do.
Player down and surrounded by the opposing team. This isn't...
Oh, that is bad for a Skaven.
Sending the player off. He's gonna have to join the RPP straight after the game.
The RPP?
The Referee Protection Program. The fans are furious.
Still, at least there's one more rat off the field. So I do not think the distorted tunnelers are going to have a very fun time in the near future. What with getting some rather nasty injuries, coupled with the fact that one of their blitzers is dead.
Yep, I reckon that's what he'd say, if he could talk.
And Sinister 7, the Mad, is currently running up the field again to score our second points of the match. And this poor...
That's it. Force him back and then pow!
I almost feel bad for this poor little rat, because sooner or later he's gonna go down.
Look, Twinkle Toes there. Oh, too bad.
Unfortunately, he managed to keep going enough to take someone down with him. But yes, how
The attacker has an assist.
level ups are going to work after this is going to largely depend on who gets MVP of this match.
This player likes to be well assisted in a fight.
Just die already, you little shit. I want to get some attacks in while 7 is currently...
A snotling baked in a pie stands more chance than this. Hey, what's that? Thesaurus. Oh, they hit hard.
Well, as annoying as that was, at least none of them can really get to Sinister. So we can just run her to the end zone whenever. And we've still got plenty of turns to do it. It's just a question of just how many rats can we hurt in the process. Let's go with you. You seem like a good person to smack in the
That's
face.
a holding maneuver, if ever I saw one. Sitting down on the job. There'll be trouble with the Unions if this carries on. That's right. Even Sinch would struggle to untangle that.
Oh well, let's just score this thing.
I'll eat that ball. Lose or win at the time left.
And their rat ogre is still down. Good.
We're about to start the next down, and none of the KO'd players have woken up. Lazy gits.
They're short of one player. That's a gap that can be filled.
And hurrah, we get another reroll. That is fantastic.
Scoops up the ball with ease. Very nice moves.
Well, it's pretty clear to see what the Skaven plan for this play is.
Rather smug for remaining upright. Pride comes before the fall.
And they're taking a bit of a gamble trying to move that person there. But it's paid off for him.
Unity is strength.
At least for the moment, anyway.
Thesaurus. Oh, they hit hard.
Let's see how long their good fortune can hold up, shall we?
More than 20 swords came up from Slanhopek.
When the match was over, the oath was a wreck.
Just move Sinister down here to more or less block off the obvious path ahead. So I was just trying to see how much can they make it to the end zone.
Nice. Very nice.
Technically, yes, I think they could. Though will they? No. They won't.
Well, they had to retreat a little. It was getting dangerous.
Bite night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Really, don't let them. They're massive and can take your hand right off.
I would skip, you're not. There we go.
If I had a gold crown for every player I've seen lying on the field during my career, well, I could start my own team. You only need 1 million.
So many touchdowns, Jim. I've lost count. I mean, I can only count 3 anyway. That was a lot, right?
Alright. Let's re-roll it, because we might as well. Sadly, it did not pay off. Lord of the Brawler has gained the MVP, which is nice. We are currently at the top of the leaderboard, which is great. Unfortunately, I'm fairly certain that, and we'll double check in a moment. Yeah, because of the nature of their injuries, Captain Sirius and Grey Vested will be down for the next match. Which we'll have to just double check to see who we're up against. But right now we can just grab block on Cyclone of Despair. Because honestly that it would probably be for the best. How much are skin costs 60. And the next team we're up against will be the Kislev Circus. So a somewhat more interesting team. However, until then, my name is Brightops, and I look forward to hearing from you.